welcome to the Senior Hour, which is sponsored by Providence Holy Cross Medical Center, Comfort Keepers in Home Care, and Hestia Med Spa. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host,
Dr. Gene Dorio,
on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. This is a show for, about, and by seniors, giving information to enhance one's quality of life. And speaking of quality of life, the one and only Sir Robert Reyes, owner of Reyes Winery on Main, is here. Hi.
How about that?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
And speaking of quality of life, a glass of wine at night is good for you.
You bet. It's the best stuff.
Yes. I totally agree. Don't you,
Yeah.
Dr. Gene?
Well, there's some valuable medical information that is out there saying that is true, Barbara.
Yes, that's what I've been hearing, and so that's what I do.
Unlike Gatorade.
Now that's too sweet. Woo. I
Right.
don't even like sweet wine.
Right, doctor?
It certainly can be sweet, not like Barbara. But
Well, of course.
Barbara doesn't have too many calories.
Okay, Sir Robert, what's up across the street?
Oh,
and that's
things
the
are
vineyard.
happening. Things are happening across the street.
Yes.
We have Cinco de Mayo tomorrow.
Yes.
We have the Chamber of Commerce. We have a group from the Chamber tomorrow. And that's going to be about 5 or so.
Whoa.
And then we'll let the rest of the general public, once that meeting is up, I mean, they're going to hang out for a while, but at that point, we'll let people from the general public come on up to the rooftop and enjoy the view and enjoy a
nice,
glass of wine
pleasant
and
evening.
you bet.
The weather.
Yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
So that is in the works, and then we have Mother's Day brunch coming up, and we have almost a full house, I think. There may be a few reservations left, so if anybody's interested in that, I would suggest calling soon. Yes.
Yes. And how is the vineyard doing?
The vineyard is beautiful. It's the time of year when we have, the branches are now about 18, 24 inches, and the vines are full. We've had great weather. We have enough water this year so far. So we're good.
Very good. That means more good wine.
You bet.
Oh, yes. I'm on for that. In for that.
You
Always.
Bet. You bet.
Always. So the Mother's Day event on the rooftop,
Yes.
what is that all about? And will there be entertainment? What's happening?
I should know that, but I don't believe we have entertainment. And if we do, I will get back to you on that. I'm not sure. I haven't been as close as involved as I should be.
Well, tell us why.
Oh goodness, I have other things that I tend to, but I've been mostly dealing with banking within the last 3 weeks. I'm financing some things, and I've got things going on with that.
And your wife?
And of course, my
Rosa.
wife has been ill, if you will. Well, she had hip surgery, and she's recovering well, and she is home. She is getting up from bed by herself and walking around and doing some things around the house. But she is getting better. Thank you for asking. Appreciate
That's
it.
good. Well, how did it happen?
Well, this is a chronic thing, and she had one side done about 6 years ago, and it was time now because we walk a lot, we hike a lot, and that was really preventing her from doing the things that we like to do. And of course, as you know, doctor, those things only get worse with the passage of time, and so
as you get older,
it is what it is.
Yes.
But I think she'll be fine. The first one that she did 6 years ago has been perfectly fine, and she's been functioning well. And so we anticipate that this is going to be as successful. And so she'll be fine in a couple of weeks,
fantastic.
I'm sure.
Well, please give her our love.
Thank you.
Good heavens.
Thank you so much.
Oh, that must be horrible.
Tell her
to go
abide by the physical therapy also.
That's absolutely right. Yes.
Yeah, they're just magnificent who, the science that goes along with it. One who has operation on any joint, knee or back or neck or elbow.
Yes.
The physical therapy makes a huge difference post-operatively.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
it's just a super science now. So
That's right.
please believe in it and the advantage. I'm sure your wife will, having had her first surgery 6 years ago. But we for our seniors especially, some of them get back on their feet because. And not having had surgery, they're able to ambulate better, move around better, prevent falls.
Yes.
So, part of her total treatment plan is not only the replacement of the hip, but also the physical therapy afterwards. It has astounded me how far it has come.
Yes. Thank you. I will make sure that we follow that regimen. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, well, it certainly helped me after we had that horrible automobile crash several years ago. It really helped me.
Yes.
And it helped Russ. Although
Yes.
he didn't want to do it, I said, you have to do it.
Right.
And he did.
Right. And if you told me the same way, I would.
Yes.
I see the look on your face,
I say what I mean.
And you mean what you say.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Great. So things are great.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
And the vines are popping,
You
or
bet.
almost ready to pop.
Well, they are. You can see little grapes on the vines now.
Terrific.
It's
That's
a great time of year.
Oh, that must be fun to see.
Yes.
And exciting,
Yes.
because that's your business,
Yes.
You know?
It's my passion.
your passion.
Yes.
And what got
absolutely.
you into this?
Oh, goodness. There is an old story about that. I don't know if I ever told you, but in my family, there were 5 branches of my father's family, and each one of those branches I discovered about 8 years ago that every one of those branches of the family made their own wine.
Made their own wine.
Right, and so the one on my branch of the family was an aunt, and as when I was a kid back in Santo Domingo, she would bring wines, homemade wines, and I know they were the sweet stuff, right? and as kids, we tried those, and believe it or not, it always stayed in the back of my mind, and I said to myself, someday I'm going to learn to do this.
Someday.
Right? And I did, and that was a while ago.
That's interesting because when I was married to my first husband, we moved from the East Coast after he graduated college as an engineer, and he was employed at Rocketdyne in Canoga Park. And we rented a home on what was Topanga Canyon Boulevard. I think it's completely different now. But that home had a bomb shelter in the backyard.
Wow.
And I think it must have, I don't know when they had it built, but my husband decided, I'm going to make beer down there.
How about that?
So he made beer down there.
All right.
And I was constantly having to run down and up and check everything in there to make sure everything was okay.
Yes.
Because he was working across the street as an engineer at the time.
I see.
And
Yes.
we had 2 children and a third on the way. So it was quite an exercise for
I'm
me
sure.
to go up and down those stairs.
Yes.
But he never sold it. We just
Right.
bottled it and gave it away to friends, you know.
Right. Which is what I did with wine
Yeah.
early on before I was licensed.
Yes.
So I made wine and gave it away to friends and family, and that's how it is. Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Well,
I was going to say you
many
didn't
years ago.
You didn't consume all that beer.
Oh
right?
no. I didn't like beer
Oh, is that
because
right?
it was too fizzy.
Oh, okay.
It had that fizzy, and I was always burping all the time, and I thought, no. And I guess that was the acid in it or something. I don't know what it was, but I decided, no. I don't want to drink wine and drink beer anymore. And I very seldom ever have a glass of beer now
I see.
because I just had bad memories.
Now you just drink the Reyes wine.
Yes, I do. I have a bottle of the Reyes on my countertop, as a matter of fact.
How about that?
And I have several bottles still in my wine container.
There you go.
It's in the dining room.
All right. Good. Yes.
But my favorite of yours is the Merlot.
The Merlot. The
Yes.
Merlot 10, I believe. Yes.
Yes, if that's what it is.
Yes.
But it is the Merlot.
Yes.
And that is my favorite.
Oh, great.
It's not bitter. It's not sweet. It doesn't irritate you when you
Right.
drink
Smooth.
it. It's very smooth.
All right.
And it smells good, too.
Good.
The bouquet.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It does have a definite bouquet. It
Yes.
really does. So how many people do you have when they come and work for you at the vineyard to take
harvest?
down all the
To harvest?
all the grapes?
Yes, it normally takes a team of about 12 to 14 people because when we're harvesting 4 rows.
Everything.
4 rows at a time, right?
Oh.
And so we send the tractor down the middle, and then the crew is going in front of the tractor, right?
And pulling off the-
emptying.
yes.
Sure. And it's a
Wow.
manual process, and it takes us a couple of weeks to complete it because obviously and thankfully not all grapes mature at the very same time. So we may have as much as a month in between. So we may harvest, for instance, well, the white grapes come in first. So we harvest the Chardonnay first. And then we may go to one of the reds that is ready. And then we come back to another white, which is the Muscat. And so the good thing is they don't all come in at the same time.
Well,
'Cause
so
that would create a major bottleneck in
yes,
production.
it would. So what happens after you've harvested the grapes? What is the next process?
Well, we harvest them and we bring them into the winery, and the white grapes are pressed the same day or the very next day. And the reason being is you don't want the wine to oxidize by leaving it in the skin. Although we do make a white wine that is the orange wine or amber wine, and that is a wine that is very specially made in the sense that it's processed in the same fashion as a red wine, meaning it stays in the skins and it stays in the, just in the vat to ferment, and then it's pressed after it's completely fermented, and the alcohol levels are there.
What do you mean pressed?
Yes.
Smashed?
No.
No.
There is a wine press, and after fermentation, say on the red wines, all of that must is put into that press, and it is pressed so that the solids remain in the press and all the liquid comes out.
Oh.
Yes, and then it goes into tanks, and it settles in tanks for a few weeks until it's fairly clear, and then it goes into barrels for aging. And that's on the red wines, right?
Wow.
So, but the white wines are basically pressed the same day, and only the juice is fermented rather than fermenting in the skins and such. So it's
that's
yes, it's a
interesting.
different process. Yeah.
Why is it a
So what
different process when?
Well,
from a red?
ultimately, we do the same things. The difference is that white wine does not remain in the skins and stems to ferment. We
I
actually
see.
press it when it comes in from the field. We press it the same day, and the juice ferments by itself without the skins and without
I
all the
see.
other stuff. As opposed to the red wines where we actually bring it in from the field, we crush it and destem it, and so that is a big vat of all the grapes with the skins and such, and that is fermented in the skins
How interesting.
for 3 or 4 weeks, depending on temperature and depending on how quickly we want to get that fermentation to get through.
That's
So
interesting.
is,
I
is
wonder.
Merlot a red wine then?
Yes, of course.
Yes, it is definitely.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't know, but that's interesting. So how does it ferments? But is that where the flavors are enhanced?
Yes, absolutely. That's where the wine actually develops. And think about this. Grapes are really not red, right? The skins
Oh,
are red.
yes.
So the red in the wine comes from the skins,
Interesting.
right? And so, yes, so in that process, in the fermentation process, that's where you get all the tannins and you get all the flavors and all of that is part of an integral part of the grapes, right? And that all happens in fermentation, yes.
And that's the delicious flavor.
Right.
That,
Right.
That's
All
in the wine.
all the nuances of a good wine happen there. Well, of any wine, but in the better.
When you have a Merlot and a Cabernet, how do you distinguish the difference?
Okay.
Is it the different grape?
Yes, they are a different grape, and they are planted in different, distinct fields, right?
Interesting.
So yes, that's how we know what's what, right?
Wow.
It's not something that we decide on how to make it. It is the varietal of the grape.
So it has something to do with the acidity and the tannins.
Well, each varietal brings its own unique personality,
Yes,
if you will.
So,
for instance, the Merlot is going to be a smoother grape than the Cabernet.
Yes.
The Cabernet may have a little bit more tannins, a little bit more robust. And so the Merlot is going to be a smoother wine.
It is.
Normally.
It is. It's a much smoother wine compared to the Cabernet.
Right.
So
when you say smoother, Barb, do you mean it goes down smoother, or?
Well, yes, that has a lot to do with it, but the taste is smoother.
The mouthfeel
Yes.
is smoother generally speaking, on the Merlot than it is on a Cab.
It is.
And
There's a more of a tang to the Cabernet, if that's a good word. It's not a tang, but it's a heavier.
Sure,
taste.
it's the tannins that you get in the mouth, and that is the mouthfeel. The Cabernet is going to be a little bit more robust, and it's going to have a little bit more tannins than the Merlot.
It
so
has
that's
a little more oomph.
Yes, so it would have those tannins that actually that are somewhat astringent, if you will, in the mouth, right? And that's the difference. And of course, you have the lighter wines, like starting out with a Pinot Noir, for instance, or a Grenache. Those are different varietals, and as you go up the scale, then you get to the very robust wines.
Now, how do you process to get sweet wines? Do you add sugar to them?
No, never add sugar to wine. If anything, there's a couple of ways of doing it, and one is when you first press the wine, it's very sweet, and depending on what percentage. So let's say we do our white wines at about 26% sugar. So you save some of that juice, and after all the process and all the fermentation has taken place, and you're ready to just put your wines in whatever containers, be they stainless steel or whatever containers you're going to finish your wines in, then you can blend that in, and that sweetens the wine. That's one way to do it.
Oh.
And then there is pure Chardonnay concentrate, for instance, if we're talking about a Chardonnay. They're certified.
Yeah, I don't like the sweet Chardonnay.
No.
No,
and that is
not very good at all. Not for me.
No,
No,
and nor but there is a niche. There's people who really like that.
Yes,
and so we make one that's not terribly sweet, but it is sweet enough that is sweet. And I personally don't go to it myself.
No, I don't like it.
I stay mostly with the reds or the dry white wines.
That's my dry white wine, Chardonnay.
Yes,
that's my favorite.
Yes,
absolutely.
Our Chardonnay 16 is superb.
Yes, I know.
Right? Yes. So, but we have a little bit for everybody too.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Wow. Well, this is.
Where does the 16 come from? Robert,
yes, it is from our own vineyard. It's 2016, and that's the year of the harvest.
I see. Okay.
That's the year of the harvest. That is the vintage.
I see.
Yes.
Wow.
Cool.
Well, this has been a fun Morning. No, it's afternoon. I keep thinking it's morning because we used to start at 11 and now we
Right.
start at 12.
Okay.
And I still haven't gotten used to it.
Oh,
But it's been fun having you here.
It's always my
And-
pleasure to
oh,
talk
yes,
to you guys.
It is. It is a
Yeah.
lot of fun. And
Thank
it's
you,
very
Robert.
interesting about the way the wines differ in taste.
Right.
And
right.
learning how it's done. That's wonderful.
Right. And
Yes.
if we have a second here, I just wanted to mention again the Mother's Day brunch. If you haven't made your reservation yet, the number is 661-621-7777. Call in and make your reservation at Reyes Winery on Main.
24329 Main Street. Thanks again, Robert. It was fun.
thank you, Robert.
Yes, it was. I'm Barbara Cochran with my
We appreciate
co-host,
it.
Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS.
Playing now at the Canyon Theater Guild are two literary classics that you won't want to miss. Little Women the Musical will delight you with show-stopping music and ballads fitting this timeless story of family and perseverance. Also, The Lilies of the Field, dedicated to the late Sidney Poitier, who earned his first Oscar portraying the lead role in this delightful and heartwarming story. Both shows run through April 16th, so get your tickets now by calling the box office at 661-799-2702 or online at canyontheater.org.
Aloha, friends! Go check out Honu Coffee, home of the best cold brew coffee. What makes their coffee special is how their organic coffee beans are infused with nitrogen to create a smooth and delicious cup of coffee. You'll also find traditional bold coffees and island-inspired signature drinks. They're the perfect place to catch up with friends or just relax with your favorite cup of joe. Honu Coffee on Lyons and Walnut in Newhall. Stop by and say aloha.
And now for your convenience, a second Honu location at 23502 Lyons Avenue between Peachland and Apple.
If you're in need of physical therapy, check out Focus Physical Therapy. Owner and therapist Adam Laraway has the latest in cutting-edge technology, introducing the Newbie, the ultimate in neuromuscular re-education. The Newbie can help you heal up to 70% faster and was FDA cleared in September 2017. The Newbie uses pulse direct current, which mimics the same neurological signals the brain uses and allows the therapist to identify those signals with 100% accuracy. Newbie can even help improve your sleep while tackling issues with neck, knee, and shoulder pain, sciatica, and arthritis. It can accelerate your fitness progress, which means better results in less sessions. Get stronger quicker. Why not use the same technology that the Dodgers and the LA Clippers use? Focus PT, located on Peachland off Lyons in Newhall. Call 255-4205. Go online at focusphysicaltherapyscv.com.
It's time to experience a pain relief, wellness, and anti-aging treatment unlike any other. It's time to check out Mend Cryotherapy. Relieve chronic joint and muscle pain, diminish soreness and inflammation, alleviate stress-related symptoms, boost immune system performance, and improve sleep and recovery times. Mend Cryotherapy is open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Go to Mend, M-E-N-D, cryotherapy.com on Newhall Ranch Road in the Gateway Shopping Center.
No doubt about it, LA is an awesome place to live. But even while living in the land of beaches and mountains, it's safe to say that we could all use a real vacation right about now. One where you don't have to stop for gas, cook your own meals, or strip your own sheets. Lucky for us, Princess Cruises has a port right here in LA. Now, for a limited time, LA residents can sail with Princess from just $89 per day to the beaches of Mexico, the tropics of Hawaii, or cruise along the California coast without getting stuck in traffic. That's right, just $89 per day. And while these great destinations aren't going anywhere, these deals won't be around forever. So visit princess.com, call 1-800-PRINCESS, or contact your travel advisor to book your cruise today. Set sail with LA's cruise line, Princess Cruises. Terms and restrictions apply. Promotional pricing ends November 30th, 2021. Ships are Bermudan and British registry. Before booking, consult the CDC website at www.cdc.gov.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. And our guest now is Adam Laraway, the owner of Focus Physical Therapy. And Jean, do you want to start off? We were having a conversation.
Adam, Robert Reyes was on the show a moment ago, and his wife Rosa had surgery. And it's obviously a common problem, but a way of correcting an ongoing difficulty that one might have with pain. So our seniors end up then needing physical therapy.
Yep.
I was, raising the dust here to make sure our listeners have a good understanding the role that physical therapists play in our lives and how important it is. So I just wanted to just talk for a moment about getting physical therapy, because if you have surgery, you get physical therapy, but then there's a question as to whether someone can still get physical therapy even though they haven't been in the hospital.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we see a wide range of patients, for different problems and dysfunctions and that type of stuff. And so the biggest thing for getting physical therapy for our seniors is, most seniors are on Medicare, and so you have to have a referral from the doctor for some, type of dysfunction. So, whether it be a balance issue or gait or, the surgery itself, if it's a shoulder or a hip or a knee or whatever. So yeah, getting a referral and then going to the therapist, and then they do an evaluation and figure out what they can do to help.
And you guys, as far as in terms of house calls for our seniors, I mean, there are some of them who, can't get out of their houses, their homes, and you wouldn't happen to do house calls, do you?
I don't do, house calls. I'm in an outpatient orthopedic setting, but they do have what's called home health physical therapy. And so generally, if somebody, say, had surgery and they can't drive and they don't have the best mobility yet, usually when they get discharged from the hospital, they get a referral from there for home health physical therapy. And then a home health physical therapist will come into the house, which is actually really beneficial, because they can come in, obviously assess the function of the person, see how they're doing and how they're in their own environment. Are they able to get up and down from the toilet? Are they able to, get up and down if they've got stairs, if they've, how they get into and out of bed and that type of stuff, and looking for safety issues that may need to be addressed, and seeing them in their home environment. So there's a lot of good pieces to the home health physical therapy side, and then the home health physical therapist will then make that decision when they feel like that they are, ambulatory enough that they can come to like an outpatient clinic, myself. And so I actually work with a couple different home health PTs where they will send patients our way once they're ready to start therapy in an outpatient setting.
Now, do you have a number of seniors as your clients or your patients, or however you call that?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We're probably about 25% of our patients are from Medicare patients that are seniors. And
seniors,
that type of stuff.
really?
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
For what reasons? Not being able to move, or accidents, or falls, or
we see, to be honest with you, a whole wide range. Shoulder surgeries, knee surgeries, a lot of knee replacements, hip replacements, a lot of lower back pain. Falls, difficulty walking, stuff like that. I have one that I just saw right now before I came that was had an ankle fracture. They were out hiking and they slipped on some gravel and fractured their tibia and their fibula, and so it's my job to get them back out hiking again.
Whoa.
Yep.
Whoa.
So,
Yep.
but yeah, we see a whole wide variety. We see neurological pain, that type of stuff. I don't typically do a lot of stroke patients, and a lot of, so there's kind of different settings. There's kind of outpatient orthopedics, which is what I do. I see a lot more kind of your bone and your joints and your movement dysfunctions in that sense. There's more clinics that focus more on neurological issues, so maybe Parkinson's, like multiple sclerosis, stroke, spinal cord, that type of stuff. There's definitely more kind of like niches in that type of treatment because you definitely treat them differently. I will say my own plug with the Newbie, because it works on the neurological system, I'm seeing more neurological patients in the last 3 years since working with the Newbie than I have in my entire 22-year career. So I am becoming a more neuro-based therapist than I had been prior to that.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
So how does the Newbie work?
So the Newbie is direct current stimulation, and it mimics the nervous system. And so we use it in a lot of different ways in treatment. But one of the probably the primary way we use it initially is we use it to call it the mapping the system. So what we do is we put say you had a knee injury or something like that, or knee pain. And so we put a pad on kind of your middle back. That's our ground pad, and then we have another pad that we use with a sponge, and we literally drag it on the skin. And when we get over what we call hot spots, that's where your brain is sending a signal that's causing the problem. And sometimes that signal is not where the pain is. So, I've had people where they have ankle pain, and I might find a spot up in their hamstring in the back of their thigh or in their lower back. And so what we do is we put pads on the spots, the hot spots, and we usually find 2 to 4 spots. And then once we found that, then we go through movement patterns with the electrical stim on, and it re-educates the brain to shut off those protective mechanisms that are causing the problem. It's been a game changer. It's really, really cool stuff. Yeah.
Goodness.
Absolutely, yeah. I had a new patient on Monday, had a knee surgery. She's a senior. It's about 3 months out and just barely can walk. And tried therapy elsewhere, and unfortunately wasn't getting any better. And so the doctor sent her over to us to take a look, and I mapped her on Monday, and by the end of the session, she was walking pain-free, which was really, really cool.
Well, now, when you say mapping, do you have a hole that you put the patient through to see where it is,
Nope.
like an MRI?
No. The mapping is just so we just use a sponge it's a wet sponge that's sending electricity through it, and because of the direct current from the Newbie mimics the nervous system, when we get over where the problem is, the intensity goes up. And so that's how they can tell us, hey, that got intense, because it's duplicating the signal that your brain is sending through your nervous system. And so
interesting.
It's really cool. Yeah, so we can identify the spots that are causing the problem with 100% accuracy. And then once we go through movement patterns, it re-educates the brain to shut off those mechanisms that are causing the problem. It's really, really cool.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, it's having those aha moments with patients, is a lot of fun. It's very rewarding to see them and walking out. And it was kind of funny, the person that I evaluated on Monday, within a half an hour of her leaving, her neighbor called to schedule an appointment because they'd had a problem and hadn't gotten any better. And then the husband called about an hour later and scheduled. So I guess that's a good marketing plug for myself.
Absolutely. Wow. The fact that she came in not being able to walk properly and leaving being able to walk properly.
Yep.
That's amazing. Now, how long did that process take?
So our evaluations are an hour. So when you come in for your first appointment, you'll meet the therapist, either Rebecca or myself, and then we do kind of our standard evaluation where we talk to you. We ask kind of some questions to see if we get an idea of kind of what's going on and how things started, and what aggravates it, what helps it, that type of stuff, to give us kind of a little bit of a game plan. And then we start putting you through tests of checking strength, checking range of motion, checking functional activities, so being able to get out of a chair, stuff like that. And then once we kind of have an idea of kind of what we think is going on, we switch gear into treatment mode. And most of the time that's with the Newbie. So then we're mapping to find the issue, and then we go through exercise movement patterns with the Newbie on. And in this case with this person, I had her actually walking with the Newbie, because it's a portable unit. I have it on a rolling cart. And so we literally walked through the clinic with the Newbie on, and within minutes the pain started to dissipate, and she was able to take better strides, better step length. She also had pain with doing a calf raise. That went away immediately.
With what?
A calf raise, like raising up on your toes.
Oh, a calf.
Yeah.
I didn't
So
understand.
because I like to be kind of a pre-test, post-test. So I find things that, aggravate, you bring on your pain.
Right.
And then we want to reassess that after we've done a treatment, so we know, hey, did it help? If it didn't help, then that wasn't the right thing to do. So now we got to do something different.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a constant assessment. That's why I think it's so important for physical therapy clinics to see the therapist every time. Unfortunately, there's a lot of clinics where they see an aide, which is not a skilled, person. They have not been to school or anything like that. They've just had on the job training. And unfortunately, that's not physical therapy. You need a therapist that is able to assess what's going on and how you're responding to treatment to make the appropriate choices to go the right direction. And unfortunately, I get patients all the time that come in and have gone to therapy elsewhere and not had success, and I ask them, well, what did they do? And They're like, oh, they just put me on the ice exercises and you know, nobody was monitoring me and I just was doing. That's not therapy. That's going to the gym.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of my soapbox. Sorry.
Yes, but it's a good soapbox.
Yeah, that's why I started Focus. I mean, to be honest with you, I was a PT at another clinic, and unfortunately, we went from 2 patients an hour to 3 every 40 minutes, and I just didn't feel like I could help people in a 40-minute slot with 3 people, you know. And so I just made the decision 3 years ago that my job is to help people get better, and to do that, I need time with them to assess things.
Assess things, right? That makes sense.
That's why that's how I picked my name. My name is Focus because I focus on the patient.
That's right.
You know.
Well, it makes a lot of sense. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Sorry, I went on a tangent there, but I get kind of spirited about that because that's why physical therapy. A lot of times people say it doesn't help is because they're not getting that constant assessment, and it's so crucial to the recovery process.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, doctor, do you have patients who have physical therapy treatments?
Absolutely. I am as earlier in the show, and even what I've said earlier to Adam, it's critical for individuals to have quality of life, and one of the ways that we lose quality of life is decreased mobility.
Absolutely.
For whatever reason that is. But when that happens, we have to bring ourselves back up to par so that we can drive our car, go to grocery shopping, go to church, go to our meetings. These are quality of life issues.
Absolutely.
Someday we might not be able to enhance it, but you try to utilizing what Adam does with physical therapy, utilizing all the means available in science to be able to keep people up and about and not laying only at home in their bed or sitting on their couch.
Absolutely.
So do I have patients? Yes, all the time. And, mine are house call patients, so I have house call physical therapists come in or organized by the health group that might be taking care of them. But I tell you, it works. It keeps people in our homes and allows them to age in place. So, but the ability and understanding that Adam has in what he does and focus, like he says, on the patient is critical, because you can have some that just go through the routine and don't know exactly what they're doing, but Adam obviously does.
Yeah.
And he's been doing it for what, 22 years? Over 20 years, right, Adam? Something like that.
Absolutely.
And it really does help to keep people up and about.
Yeah.
And so it's really important that what Adam does for our community. Thank you, Adam, for all that you've done.
Absolutely. Well, thank you.
Well, there is nothing worse for an older person to sit.
Yep.
There is nothing worse. And, of course, I experienced that after I had that accident and also during the COVID shutdown.
Yeah.
And I'm so thankful that I had one of those big bikes, because that's what Russ had, and that's how he would get his exercise.
Yep.
And I moved it into a different room where I could watch the TV and pedal.
Yeah.
Because so many times I would go outside to walk, and here are all these people with all these dogs, and they would never go out in the street. I was the one who had to go out in the street to get away from them, constantly barking and yipping, and you never know when one of them is going to break off the leash and you've had it,
Absolutely, yeah.
So, but there's nothing wrong. There's nothing worse than sitting in a chair and staying there, because you start to get numb after a while.
Yep.
Whoa, it's getting hard to get out of the chair now.
Absolutely.
And I've looked at these chairs that tip you up.
Yeah.
And I've thought many times, I'm going to get one of those. And then I thought, wait a minute. That way, it'll get me up without me doing any work to get up.
Yeah.
Well, they termed them correctly. There's a reason they call those lazy boys.
Yes, that's true. Lazy boys.
That's right.
Yes, well, I didn't want to be a lazy girl, so I didn't buy one of those. I was so tempted because I won't have to struggle to get up.
Right.
And my chair it's not that high, so I have to really push and get myself out.
Yep.
But I have to do it.
Got to do it.
There's no way around it. And luckily, with the automatic bike, I have to get up onto the seat.
Yeah.
And put my feet on the pedals, and away I go, you know.
There you go.
So anyway, we need to take a break, don't we? I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS.
This is Bradley from Santa Clarita Grocery, the all-volunteer grocery program serving children, families, and individuals experiencing food insecurities. Since January 2020, Santa Clarita Grocery has distributed 83 tons of fresh groceries to 4,465 families in the SCV. Santa Clarita Grocery is a drive-up, drive-through service with physical distancing in place to continue serving our community. If you are in need or looking for a charity to do the most good for our community, please consider partnering with us by donating to Santa Clarita Grocery, one of the most efficient charities in the Santa Clarita Valley. A full 99 cents out of every dollar goes directly back to the community. Santa Clarita Grocery operates on a 1% overhead and is sustained through private donations. Santa Clarita Grocery is at 21176 Center Point Parkway in the Oasis Furniture parking lot. Please visit our website, santaclaritagrocery.org, or our Facebook at Santa Clarita Grocery to make a difference in our awesome town community. 661-425-7575. Be our guest and experience the difference.
You already know Salt Creek Grill has the best food in our valley. Well, now you can have Salt Creek's gourmet meals catered to your event.
I'm Greg Amsler, owner of Salt Creek Grill. I'd like to introduce you to a new level of catering, featuring our catering director, Tamara Levine.
Salt Creek Grill creates memorable experiences, which leaves our clients and guests with a sense of awe and excitement. From menu development to picturesque presentation, you'll enjoy culinary excellence and creative catering.
Salt Creek Grill, a new level of catering.
The Art Gallery of Santa Clarita Artists Association, located in Old Town Newhall on 6th Street between Railroad and Main, features local members' original artwork with changing exhibits every 6 weeks. Purchase affordable art for your home or as gifts. We're open Friday through Sunday or by appointment. You're invited to attend our free monthly art demonstration meetings on Zoom. Artists wishing to join the SCAA can visit our website at santaclaritaartist.org. For upcoming shows and more, check us out at santaclaritaartist.org. We make visual art visible.
Dr. Neil Green has been treating Santa Clarita patients and making them smile for over 35 years. As a child, Dr. Green had a fear of the dentist and disliked even simple checkups. Today, he's sensitive to your needs. If you have anxiety about getting a checkup, he understands your apprehension even if you've avoided the dentist for years. Discover the comfort of visiting a dentist with Dr. Neil Green. Dentistry is his profession. People are his focus. NeilGreenDDS.com. That's Neil, N-E-A-L, GreenDDS.com.
If you're in need of physical therapy, check out Focus Physical Therapy. Owner and therapist Adam Laraway has the latest in cutting-edge technology, introducing the Newbie, the ultimate in neuromuscular re-education. The Newbie can help you heal up to 70% faster and was FDA cleared in September 2017. The Newbie uses pulse direct current, which mimics the same neurological signals the brain uses and allows the therapist to identify those signals with 100% accuracy. Newbie can even help improve your sleep while tackling issues with neck, knee, and shoulder pain, sciatica, and arthritis. It can accelerate your fitness progress, which means better results in less sessions. Get stronger quicker. Why not use the same technology that the Dodgers and the LA Clippers use? Focus PT, located on Peachland off Lyons in Newhall. Call 255-4205. Go online at focusphysicaltherapyscv.com.
It's like no other station I've ever listened to. It's great.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. And we're speaking with Adam Laraway from Focus Physical Therapy. And wow, we've had some good conversation. My goodness. Jean, is there anything you would like to address in these last few minutes?
Once again, the importance of physical therapy, and those who are listening, they need to realize, especially the caregivers or the loved ones who see their loved ones slowing down, their senior loved ones slowing down. And so it's important that physical therapy plays a role in keeping them up and moving around. You have to go through your private physician, but this is Medicare, and this should be utilized by our seniors so that it will eventually help avoid falls, tripping, and maintaining balance in a way that allows people to survive in their home. So I know, Adam, you see some seniors, and that's good, but it's important to make seniors aware that your work is available to them that will make a difference in their life.
Absolutely.
Now, the other thing too, do you treat many children?
So there's a pediatric clinic in town here that does more pediatrics. We do see kids. We have a 4-year-old right now that we're working with, so we do see some younger kids. It's a little harder to keep a kid's attention,
Right.
And so we don't have a lot of the games and the toys and stuff that a lot of the pediatric clinics that focus more on pediatrics do. A lot of times we're doing repetitions and movement patterns and stuff like that, and so sometimes you have to get a little creative, with getting them to do what you want them to do for, a movement pattern, because they don't want to do 3 sets of 10 of reps of this exercise,
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a challenge. We do see some pediatrics, but, and I see a fair amount of, kind of your middle school and high school athletes. I see a lot of those. And, obviously we're getting them back to sport and that type of stuff. So, not, all avenues. So we see, dancers and ballet and gymnastics and football, baseball, basketball, volleyball, the whole gamut there. So we definitely see pediatrics in that realm.
Interesting. What would you say your most prolific age range is as far as coming in for physical therapy?
Oh gosh.
I put you to work here.
We're pretty evenly spread, to be honest with you. Because we see quite a range. We see, workers' comp. So we see, anybody in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s that are still working and get injured on the job. So we see some workers' compensation patients. And then we see a lot of surgery and pain and that type of stuff. So I would say it's probably pretty evenly spread. If I had to guess, probably your 4th and 5th decade are probably our most common, just because people are in their career and may not spend as much time exercising and stretching and doing things, taking care of themselves. They're they're busy with raising their children and trying to keep their career going and not focusing on themselves, and that's how things start to kind of break down. Your body compensates. You're sitting at a desk all day. You're not, you shouldn't be sitting all day. So sometimes we get those kind of, we call them weekend warriors, where they're sitting all for, the whole week, 5 days a week, and then they go out and try and perform, exercises and sports and stuff on the weekend, and they get injured.
Well, it's interesting because I had to force myself to get up.
Yeah.
I had a business out of my home. I had a typing service.
Yeah.
And it was so easy for me I'd get up at 4 in the morning because that was when I was most ready to go, And after about an hour of sitting, I'd have to get up and walk around for 20 minutes.
Yep.
Because
you should really get up sooner than that.
Yeah, you're right. That's very true, which I never did.
Yeah.
But I don't do that
I
now.
teach what's called the 30-30 rule. So if you sit for 30 minutes, then you need to get up and move around for at least 30 seconds, maybe a little bit longer. But because when you sit, in one position, ligaments and all those tissues, and tendons are in a stretched position, and they don't like that. And I tell my patients, if I pull my finger back, it doesn't hurt right now, but if I do that for 30 minutes, it's not going to feel good. And the same thing happens, if you're sitting, your lower back, those muscles and those ligaments are on stretch. And after a half an hour, the body starts to send off some alarm signals. And so you got to move, and you got to get moving.
Well, that's true, because after dinner, I usually, about 8 o'clock, I'll sit down in my chair and watch a couple of TV shows. And here comes my kitty cat. Up, she jumps in my lap, and she's, Mommy's lap, She'll stand there and look up and say, I'll say, well, come on. And she'll jump up.
Yep.
But she doesn't like it when I get up.
Yeah.
She kind of looks up at me and says, again, But I'll push her to the side, and she'll stay there until I come back, and she'll sit in my lap again.
Got to practice, Barb, the 30-30 rule.
Yes, absolutely, and positively.
Adam, thanks for being on the show again today and giving us great information. That's Focus Physical Therapy, 25050 Peachland Avenue, suite number 205, above Valencia Pharmacy. Phone number is 255-4205, 255-4205. Is that all correct, Adam?
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Great. Thanks for being on the show again and helping our seniors out. We appreciate it.